How you doing? How you doing? This is your handsome, slender host, Chris Williams. I'm elated and blessed to have you here. Today, we have a man of many accolades, two-time All-American, Southern University linebacker, Vince Page. Vince, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. Woke up this morning. I can't complain. So.
That's right, man. I know it. I know it, man. We can never complain, man, because God and His mercy, bro, allowing us to wake up. That's a blessing in itself, man.
Thanks.
So, man, who is Vince Page, and who do you strive to be as a man and as an athlete as well?
As a man, I want to be like my dad. My dad was he was in the military, very hardworking man. Got out of the military, went to school, showed us that you could get an education and do something with yourself. And then he's a football coach as well. So watching him be able to balance uh, going to school, having a full time job, and then at the same time being a full time father to five kids. So
Oh, wow.
just watching him do that, like, just showed me like I could do something with myself, and I just try to strive to be like him. So as a
Do you feel
person,
like that's where you have the? Because when you say your father was in the military, bro,
mm,
you think that's where you have that drive and that discipline in obtaining your goals?
oh yeah, definitely. Like even as like a little kid, I used to set goals, and he would help me strive to get to them goals, even if it took a year, 2 years, like no matter how long it takes, just he taught me how to like trust the process when you set a task in hand and just handling business from that point. So
And just trusting God to lead the way wherever He takes you. You know,
facts.
because a lot of times, in the NFL, man, and in college, they say the not for long league.
Hmm.
But with your father being in the military, he said, "Okay, son, you can go to the league, but have a backup plan too."
Facts.
That's what my parents tell me, to have a backup plan before anything that I want to attain in my life,
Facts. Same
for
thing my
whatever
dad
God's
told
plan is for me.
me. Because at the same time too, you got to be a person at the same time. You're not just always an athlete. Like once
Yeah.
football over, like what are you going to be? Are you going to be that person that spent all this money
Mm.
he got in the league, and now doesn't have an education or never got his degree, so he can't go get a job that pays the money he wants. So with me, just making sure I get my degree before I go to the league, if I was blessed enough to have the opportunity, I make
Yeah,
sure I'm
yeah.
handling business on that end as well.
Yeah. So Derek Williams, as you know, um, he's going on to the NFL, right?
Mhm.
That's a lot of big shoes to fill. So how are you and Kelby, as upperclassmen, and the other athletes, how are you able to become mentors to the younger players that are coming into Southern?
Uh, Me personally, I had some great mentors like throughout my career, and just taking like I feel like if I take it's some bits that I learned from them, and just really like just be a big brother. Like it's not even how to be on the field mentor. It's just doing things the right way, showing the younger guys like if you want to get to this level, you got to carry yourself to a certain level. You have to hold yourself to certain like expectations, and just doing that, not being really like a vocal guy. Like, cause me personally, I'm not really a vocal guy. Like, I kind of lead by my actions. So, if
Mm,
being there, showing them the right ways, if it's something I need to express to them, like I'm not afraid to express it to them because I know how to approach younger people. Like, I'm gonna get a feel from you, like within like the first couple of seconds of our conversation, so I know how to approach you. So it'll never be like a conflict of like, oh, I'm coming at you the wrong way. Like I know how to approach every teammate I have.
because you never know, man. What I realized with people in your life and what God puts people in your life, man, you got to understand that it's like they don't have the same. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say the same system, but they don't come from the same backgrounds
Mm,
as you, and you don't know what they're going through. They
fact,
could have an abusive household, or they could have drugs around them, or not the right community around them. So it's like when you approach people, it's like you kind of have to take a step back, humble yourself, and be like, okay. I'm gonna meet this person where they at. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
So
don't think
man,
a lot of guys
yeah.
do enough of that, like learning like their teammates, understanding their teammates, where they come from, and how what certain things work on them and what don't. Like that's why you have to go like every day. You just ask your teammate, "Hey, bro, you good? How you doing?" Like just have daily conversations so y'all build that connection. Where if you were needing to come up to him in a certain way, you know how to do that.
Mm,
So
understandable. Understandable. So man, y'all didn't have the outcome that y'all wanted. There was some moments of clinching the SWAC West, right,
mhm.
versus UAPB. Southern being first in the SWAC West. How are you able to improve from this season into the off season during the spring?
Uh, like this year, like we set the expectations. The expectations were set before I got there. Like our plan was to play for the SWAC title, ultimate win it, and be able to go and play in Atlanta. But I felt like we had parts of the program that people like they walk like they talk the talk, but they really didn't like believe it. And like when they set the expectations, they just set them in the reason of just setting expectations. So like in the
Mm,
spring, like this spring, this off season, we're going to set the expectations because we already been to the SWAC championship game, so we can't say oh we can't do it. So the next thing is just really getting over that hump and being able to make it to the Celebration Bowl. So it's really
mm,
just be this off season making sure like everybody buy into the process and the grind and love the process and the grind because people love to talk about oh the outcome, but the outcome is just that one night or that one day. You're a champion forever. That's okay, but you're really going to be like all the memories and everything you're going to cherish from that moment is going to be
mm,
the whole grinding process, what you went through to be able to get to this point. So I'm going to make sure the guys in the locker room and the coaching staff as well, we just fall in love with like the grind and the process of getting back
mm,
to that situation.
mm. So man, you went to Kilgore Community College.
Mhm.
You were a 3-star out of Texas. I think you were 253 in Texas. So during those moments, man, you had offers from Baylor, had offers from UT, Kansas, um, Buffalo, right?
Mhm.
He had offers from North Texas as well. He had offers from them. Do you feel that during 3 years ago, 2022, that you were overlooked in a way that wasn't where you wanted to be, or you're just trusting in that process in order to now be where you are now at a D1 like Southern University?
It's really just trusting the process, fall in love with the process. Like, well, if you know you're putting the work in and you feel like the talent getting overlooked, like at the end of the day, my goal was to make sure I got my school play paid for. Like,
Mm.
of course, I had dreams of playing Division One, which I'm doing, but the ultimate picture was to make sure my education got paid for. My parents
Oh
were
yeah,
paid
that
for.
that
So,
that will save a lot of student loans and a lot of
yes.
shit. That's why my parents, they're like always talk about education,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, there's money in that. There's money that you can put to the side to help you.
Facts.
So it's like maybe in high school, it's like, okay, you can kind of get away with that a little bit. But as you got to college, and you be like, oh, where's my refund? And they say, son, you don't have a refund because your grade's bad. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's
Yep.
things like that that we don't really, that we take for granted and we
Yep.
don't realize it.
That's
But
true.
yeah, education is always important, man. But if you were in, let's see, Vince, if you were in any era, what would it be? Would it be with in the early 80s to early 1990s with Lawrence Taylor? Would
Mm.
it be with the mid 90s and 1996 with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed? Well, Ed Reed was later on, early 2000, 2002, but yeah. But or would you be with Luke Kuechly in the early to late 2010s?
Uh, I'll play an era with Ray Lewis just because like as a linebacker, like I feel like that's the greatest linebacker to ever
Mm-hmm.
touch the grass. So being in his era, like just being able to like learn from a like guy on that caliber of a level, like I felt like that's the only thing you need as a linebacker. Just once you like you can do everything talent wise, but the mental like the game is 90% mental. So
Yeah.
having a guy like Ray Lewis who knows the game inside and out, like just giving him giving you pointers, I feel like that would be like a true blessing.
And then also him being a motivator as well, man. Like just this man was literally preaching to his own players, his own teammates. So it's like, why not run through a wall for Ray Lewis?
No facts. Like he'll definitely make you want to put your life on the line for the sport that you love. Like that
Mm,
guy is crazy. Like who wouldn't want to play like ultimately like that's the ultimate teammate. Like if you want to look at a leader and a guy that will get his teammates ready to go in a positive manner, that's the guy you look at, I feel like.
mm. So, man, going into this is gonna be your junior year,
This will be my senior year.
your senior year. What would you grade yourself? Because I know you had a stellar game during in my opinion. Because every play, mostly every play, bro, they were saying Vince Page, and I was like, man, I have to interview you, bro. But what grade would you give yourself for this season?
Uh I'll say I'll give myself like a B minus
Mm,
overall on the season. I felt like the front end I kind of came out. I didn't like start the season off like as I wanted to, but
mm,
like towards like the back end once like it was crunch time and it was the games that mattered. I felt like that's when my game I took my game to another level. So I feel like a B minus was a reasonable grade for the
mm.
season.
Did you ever feel like when playing? 'Cause I know you played linebacker in college, but did
Mhm.
you ever play any other positions that were not linebacker in high school?
Oh yeah, like growing up, I played like running back, DN type. And then I played running back and DN all the way to my sophomore year in high school. I stopped my
Okay.
senior year, and I started playing like DN. And then I went to a private school in high school, and I switched to like linebacker, played linebacker for a year. Then when I came back to my public school, I played like the stand up DN too. So I played mostly like an edge rusher type, and then once I got to college, I made that full transition off ball back.
Mm. So did you ever feel like being a DN, bro? Like how is that? Because man, I'm media. I don't really get into that. But when you're on the line and you're going against a 320-pound lineman, like what is your mindset going into that, bro?
Uh, like 350, like that's it might sound crazy, but like you're only like we're taught to attack like half a man when it comes to like technique stuff and like taking on like his blocks. It's attacking a half of them, so you're not attacking like the 400, 350 pounds. You're getting like 170 on your shoulder. So like being able to like play like the right techniques, like it's not that I don't think it's that hard. Like, but of course you have to have like the weight for it and everything else and the strength. But once you get the technique down, like it's not that. I don't think it's
Mm-hmm.
that difficult.
Because I know it was like a moment where I don't know if I was watching a video or something, and it's kind of like you gotta you gotta stay low, and you
Yeah,
kind of
like
have
you
to.
always it's a saying in football, like the low man always wins, like leverage. Like you could be the biggest guy on the football field and the small little receiver could come get under your pads and have better leverage and be able to move you. Like leverage matters a lot. So that's why they always tell you to make sure your hat is lower than the other guy's hat. Just make sure you're lower than the other guy.
And then I also go back to Bible verse Philippians 4:13. So basically, either like wherever, say the person is bigger than you,
Mm-hmm.
with God's help, I can get through you. I have the confidence enough that
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to beat you. You may be 320 pounds. I may be 170. But if I get my leverage in,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be a good thing.
And that's the crazy thing. Like I see that a lot. Like it'll be guys that be like, "Oh, this I'm not worried about this little receiver," but some of those little receivers be a little stocky and they got some strength to them, and they'll get
Yes.
underneath you, and you'll
Like
be
look at people, bro, like Tyreek Hill, bro.
yeah,
Look
little
at people
stocky
like
built.
Jalen Hurts, who's like Jalen Hurts is 6 foot. He's not that tall. He is stocky. So
Yeah,
if he's doing 700, 800 squatting, like
getting
you're
anxious
not bringing
built.
this man down. It's gonna take like 4 or 5 people to take him down.
Yeah, get crazy on the field.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. So man, let's go into a year later, right?
Mhm.
And you have one more area of eligibility. You know, my good friend Gentle Hunt, who went to Illinois, he was at Florida A&M for all his 4 years. Let's say, okay, I've completed where I wanted to at Southern. Now I want to go to Illinois. Would you do that, or would you go into the draft if your draft stock is up?
Uh, if I was to get granted, like, cause I played JUCO, so it's like the new ruling out with guys getting an extra year. Uh, I feel like if I had a good enough year next year and be able to get a draft grade, I feel like because I have my degree at the end of December,
Mm-hmm.
so if I felt like I had a solid enough season, I get a draft grade that I could possibly get taken like day 2, day 3,
Mm-hmm.
then I would declare. But if I felt like I didn't have a good enough year, then I would come back. I wouldn't try to make a jump. Like I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
kind of guy to be like, oh, I had a good season here. Let me go try to go play bigger. Like the end of the day, like football is football. It's Division
Oh
One.
yeah.
That was my dream. I don't care about playing at Bama, LSU. Like it'd be cool. Like that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Why I want to go play there? And I'm at the place where I'm loved. I done built relationships with the fan base. Like I don't believe in all that. So I got somewhere I love. Like I'm gonna finish my collegiate career at Southern. So
Good. Good. Because I feel like, man, there's a lot of politics into that. They'll be like, oh, you went to a Division 3 school. You went to West Alabama. You went to Benedict College. It don't matter if you are a dog and
yeah,
you
facts.
can.
Like it don't matter. Like you have guys that's in the league that's starting that Division 2 football players. Like
Yep.
it doesn't matter. Like if you're a dog, you're gonna get found. Like the people who are willing to sacrifice and do the things that's willing to be done at that level will get the shots. So it don't matter if you play Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. Like if you're a dog, you're gonna get that shot at the next level.
Because look at teams like the Patriots, right? The
Yeah.
Patriots, they had Julian Edelman from Kent State. They had Adam Dola, right? They had a lot of lower tier schools players that they put with the Patriots, and they were able to win 6 Super Bowls. But you know, talent is talent. It doesn't matter what school you are, as long as you have the criteria, you have the size, as long as you can outwork the next man,
Facts.
it don't
That's all
matter.
it comes down to. Like at that level, is like, are you willing to outwork the man next to you? Because talent can only get you so far. Like
Yeah,
you weren't talented, you wouldn't be in the position you're in. So just at that level, like it's just really going to come down to who works harder, who puts the time in the film room, and who's going the extra mile to make sure that they're the best version of themselves every day. It's going to get the nod.
and
So,
also,
but them
and
guys, they
also,
just bought into the process, really.
I don't mean to cut you off, bro,
Oh, you good?
but there are moments where some players can get a hot head. Yes, you are blessed with talent, but that walk on over there, he's coachable.
Yeah.
He doesn't play around the gym. He's serious about his craft. But then this other player is arrogant. He thinks, oh, all the world is mine. Nobody can tell me nothing. I'm not going to listen to my mom. I'm not going to listen to my coach. But then once you get to the big leagues, like the Alabamas, the Texas, they don't play around with that because, as they see it, next man up. They were a 5-star too. They're doing their job. So let me just remove you out the system, and put somebody else in.
Because why would you want a kid that you can't coach? He's not gonna be. You can't depend on him. He's not gonna be where you want him to be. Like when you need him to be there. Well, I'm gonna go depend on that guy if I got a kid just as talented as you, right behind you. That's gonna do everything I say. If I tell him to go move a wall, he's gonna push this wall over. Like it's just like when you get to that level, you have to realize everybody is talented. Like it's gonna be like the little things. All right, if I tell you if I tell you to blitz off the edge, but you blitz the B gap, like that's the stuff that separates. It's just the little details and who's willing to be coachable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like that, man. But then it's sad to say that there are players like that, bro. And
It's a lot of guys in college football now that's just like me guys. Like
because a
they
lot
just,
of times I feel NIL, it's a beautiful thing, but at
but
the
it
same
make
time,
it make
it's
the true
like
monsters out of people come out. Like you have a lot of guys that just goes around that bounces in the portal just to make money. Like, but I'm not worried about that because once I get that degree, that money, like the money you're making now, I can have that the first year I work.
because
So
at the same time, it's like what we don't realize, man. Money is temporary. Look, I remember when I was 7 years old, bro, and my godmother told me, okay, she called me brother. That's my nickname, but she was like, brother, split this with your sister. I was like, okay, bet, and I ripped it apart. So I just realized the most money that we're idolizing and knowing that God will provide regardless, what are we doing? Money is temporary. Yes, it's great. But if I'm just going to college just to make money and I don't even care if I play, I'm not really what how can I put this? What work did I put in when I was 4 years old to get to this moment? And now I'm thinking about money, how much money I'm gonna get because I played. It's ridiculous.
it's crazy. I wouldn't do
I don't understand that, man. I don't understand that. Because some cats, cause I remember one guy, it was Slucker. The guy was at what was that guy's name? He was at Holy Cross. And he went to UNLV and they had a historic season. So they went about 10-0. And he was saying that the coach who offered him, he was saying 100, he offered him 100K. So I'm thinking, okay, what coach will say they deserve 100K? That didn't make sense. Because basically that's false advertisement. That's telling the player, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you this money. And when they don't give them that money, they're in the transfer portal. It's a sad world, bro. It's pretty sad, bro.
it. Yeah, I think with that one, I was talking to my dad about it. I think like the kid had signed when he signed, like they had signed a contract for 100,000 and he didn't receive all his money for it. So he was like holding out and then they were like he was just holding out so he could get paid. They wouldn't pay him the money that they agreed on. So I think that's why he hit the portal. But you have a lot of guys in college football that just trying to make money. Like,
Yep.
I hate to see it. Like NIL is supposed to be a good thing, but now it's turned like crazy.
Because I think it needs a commissioner. It needs somebody, okay, this is the amount of money that you get. These are the guarantee years that you get, whether you're JUCO, traditional, school, athlete, whatever. They need some structure. Because look at LSU and Bryce Underwood. That's the number one quarterback in 2025,
Yeah,
right? He's going to Michigan now because a billionaire paid him $12 million, and he has a right to go where he wants to go. But when he went to LSU and he said this, and I quote, bro, he said you have to stay, if you at a school, stay committed. He didn't keep his promise.
But I look at it at this point, like at this like this angle of it. If you put yourself in that situation, like no matter where he was going, like he was going to get paid a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
But think about like what kind of wealth like that creates for his family. Like we don't know where he comes from. He's from Michigan. I'm
Mm,
I'm, I'm guessing the Detroit area because I actually went up to Michigan and played for a semester. So
mm,
I'm guessing the Detroit area. So him getting $12 million to play at Michigan, that could be generational wealth. Like
mm.
he could turn it into something like that. So like being offered like $12 million, I swear if somebody offered me $12 million to come to their school, I love Southern with all my heart. But that's that type of money, like you don't get that every lifetime.
No,
I could be
no.
able to get that's money for my kids, you know. So like if I
Mhm.
had that opportunity, I definitely would have took it for 12 million.
Yeah, because a lot of times, like with Travis Hunter, right? I think he's making, I don't know, I think he's making 10 million. I don't know how much he make, but it's a lot. He didn't come from a, he didn't come from a good background.
Facts.
And basically, it was hard for him. And he had to get out the hood, you know? And a lot of times when you have money, man, it's like there's some people in your life that are leeches that want to latch on that weren't even there for your come up or for your moment. How do you take away those distractions, those people, and you focus on the main thing?
Oh, really? Like you, like when you going through this whole process, like recruiting with me showed me like who who's really for you, and then who's just for you because who you are. Like people didn't like you for you. People like you for what you could do for them. So like the
Mm-hmm.
whole process showed me, and like you just really like how you handle that is just give people a cold shoulder. Like you know who your close knit circle is. You know who the people that wants your best interest. Like my dad, like he's my number one supporter. But I promise you, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna tell me the things I did wrong before he tells me he's proud of me. Like just having people like that that always keep you humble, because you're gonna have fans like you. Like I have people that flood my DMs talking about how good I
Mm-hmm.
am, but if that's all you're getting, then that's gonna get to your head. Like I don't ever hear nobody say I suck or I messed up. Like I don't hear that. But having people in your like your circle that keeps you humble, tells you when you're wrong and when you're right. Like that's all. That's the people you really keep in your circle, and I think that goes for like really every athlete.
Because man, I mean that's a blessing, man. Because having parents and having a good background and people in your life that catapults you into the person that you are today. And what I realized is there are people that are for you in your life, but there are people who are going to make fun of you behind your back and then they want to clap and be a part of it. No, 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 no. I want to be with the people who are with me through the tears, through the good, the bad moments, who help me, who tell me how it is. Because if I just have yes people around me, Vince, I can't catapult to where I need to be, bro. I can't.
Facts. That's why you have to have people in your circle that tells you no. Like I think
Yeah.
that's where a lot of people kind of mess. Like some athletes messed up. Like the only people that have any circle is people that's gonna say yes, 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 yes. And that's why people like a lot of athletes get in like the athletes that do get in trouble don't have nobody that's telling them like no, that's dumb. Like don't do that. Like people just they like what they're doing for them in their life. So like oh I'm too scared to say something to him because oh
Mm-hmm.
if I say something to him now oh he's not gonna give me that $20 when I ask him next week like
Mm-hmm.
stuff
Right,
like
bro.
that. So I think that's why athletes kind of run into a
Right,
lot.
bro. Because yeah, because it's the system with people. Look at Travis Hunter, bro. Like I just feel like when you looking at Travis Hunter, bro, he's a dog. He won the Heisman Trophy, but I feel as though I don't know the guy, but I just feel like this is coming from discernment, and I realize there's some people in his life that are just they're not they're yes people. They're not really telling. I know he got Coach Prime around, but they're not telling him, Travis, what are you doing? You know,
What you mean? Are you meaning like in his like relationship type? Is that what you're talking
not
about?
not
Or are you
relationship,
talking about
but
like
I
just
guess, I guess, bro, in a little bit.
like the relationship? I mean, it's like it's. I mean, anybody could tell him anything, but at the end of the day, like nobody else is in that relationship. Like it's not their relationship. So
Yeah,
like, let him be his relationship. Like it be the people that's like never been married or the people that can't keep nobody to their side. Your people just mad that nobody wants them and you see somebody happy and you like, oh, this I'm pretty sure like all this happened because he won Heisman. Like if Travis Hunter would have lost the Heisman, Ashley Gentry won it, then everybody
yeah,
would be fine. But I think it's like, oh, they want to do this and make him seem like the old little golden boy. No, we're finna like backlash him. I think that's all that is. Like, but at the end of the day, nobody else has to be in that relationship but him and his girl. So it don't matter what nobody else thinks.
what
Unless
was
it's
your
just like
greatest?
glaring stuff that she's doing. But everything they point out, like people's just looking at it at one side of it. Like they're not looking at it for what it was.
Hmm. Yeah, man, that's true, bro. That's facts. What was your greatest growing up in Texas, right?
Mm.
What was life like? And also, second question, what was your favorite high school moment? Was it during the state championship, playoff game, um, having a touchdown, kicking a field goal?
Uh, growing up in Texas, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like everybody else's, like, because obviously it's like football was like a major thing. Like football in Texas is major from little
Mhm.
kids, so that was big. And then just being able to live in like the city, opportunities like schools, like high school football. So being able to go like high school football games on Friday nights as a little kid watching that and being like dreaming like, dang, I'm gonna play here one day, like, and then actually doing it. And then I say like my favorite playing moment in high school, I say is uh my sophomore year of high school. I got a sack like to close the game against Cedar Hill. We were playing in the Texas Bowl where OU and Texas play. We played there one year, my sophomore
Oh,
year.
wow.
So I got to sack that game, the closing
Mhm.
game. So I think that's probably my favorite moment from high school. Like state championships, playing the state was fun, but that's
Mhm.
probably my favorite moment.
Cause bro, I remember a lot of times like during like high school football season, I would just turn on like this channel, um, CST, and they'll say Texas high school playoffs and Texas high school championships, and just the amount of um, fanfare that football has in Texas is crazy, bro.
Oh
It,
yeah,
it's it's kind of like a religion. I don't
yeah.
know.
Like Texas is the mecca for like high school football. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you think of high school football, like people say Florida, Cali, but it's truly like Texas. Like we're not private schools that's oh we're gonna go recruit. Like these are people like that's from the area or live in the area and just playing football. And like it's like a lot of great coaches and a lot of great culture in Texas and having tradition. So we have a lot of tradition with football as well.
Mm-hmm. So going into you know being fully committed to UT, right?
Hmm.
And then going into community college at Kilgore. What made you know that Southern University was the place for you?
Oh, really? Like talking to like when I like during my JUCO years, like I talked to Coach Graves for I think 2.5 years before like I ended up getting like the Southern offer. So like
Mm-hmm.
me and the connection that me and Coach Graves created really was like it was like another father. Like of course I have my dad, but I got like the same vibes with Coach Graves that I got from my dad. And then uh just watching like the defense and like the production his linebackers had like over the years, looking at that, like Derek Williams, the one I played with, just watching like the production and his numbers and the scheme that they're running at Southern, just seeing them be able to like just play fast and freely. Like, I like that. And then when Coach Graves got the head coaching job when I hit the transfer portal, I was like, it was a no brainer. Like I had to play for Coach Graves. Like we had a great connection. And then when he reached back out and we reconnected, like I just knew. Like before then, like that, I always knew that Coach Graves was like a guy I always wanted to play for. So when I got the opportunity, it was like a no brainer.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
You know, man, this season, I don't think I've ever been a part of a season like this before. BCU, right? 5 overtimes
Yeah.
versus 2-9 Bethune Cookman,
Yeah.
right? Texas Southern on the field goal, overtime field goal by Josh, 45 yards. There was another game. Oh, another game that went to the wire. Alabama A&M that was real close. How are y'all able to keep y'all's composure during those games, even during that five OT?
Really just like getting to the basics, going back to playing our type of football. Because I feel like the game, like all those games, like that you mentioned, like we was like real life in control of those games, and then like we would just do things like out of characteristic of us, and like it let teams like stay around. And then I felt like once we got to the nick of time, like it came down to like who pretty much wanted it more. And I felt like we always was the hungrier team. Like we always had the extra juice in our system to get us over that last hump in overtimes, no matter how many overtimes it took. So I felt like we just wanted more in them games. Like it just showed and we got the wins for it. But it was nothing like them teams was doing like, and we were like, oh my god, like these dudes won't go away. It was like more of like, oh, we were just missing assignments. Like it could be 10 guys that do the right thing, and it was just one guy that was trying to make a play or was trying to be a me guy, kind of mess up, and they kept them around. But I felt like that was it pretty much. Them guys weren't doing anything special that made me feel like, oh, these dudes won't go away.
Yeah, man, but because like, bro, when I was in those games, bro, I was like, what 5 overtimes? I'm like, man, this happened. I don't know when, but
The crazy thing is, like that 5 overtime game, like in real life, did not feel like 5 overtimes.
no,
Because after the second overtime, it's like 2 point tries. So they miss one, we miss one. Oh, that's an overtime period. So like it was just stuff like that. Like the 5 overtimes didn't feel long at all. It felt like really just like another like full quarter. So
so man, once you leave Southern and you have submitted your legacy at this university, would you ever, after your playing career, if that is God's will for you to go to the NFL, would you go come back to Southern as in a maybe as an administrative role for Southern football or become an HBCU coach?
oh, definitely like coaching. I want is something I definitely want to do. Like I think once my playing career is over, uh, I definitely do like the coaching route, and like I would have no problem with coaching in Southern. Like I would love to coach in Southern. It's a place that gave me a chance. So being able to come back and coach at that level as a Division 1 level too. So I wouldn't have a problem coaching in Southern or just any HBCU really at that. But if I was going to go HBCU, why not Southern?
Because also, man, I recently looked at other other players who grew up around um, football, such as you know Mike Vick. Mike Vick went to Norfolk State. Deshaun Jackson went to Delaware State. Eddie George is at Tennessee State and won an OVC championship and went to the playoffs. So having even our people in that culture who have been in the NFL, who have been in the HBCU landscape for a little while. They know a little bit about it. That's a great thing to see
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not saying that HBCUs, say if it's like a no name coach, right? I think, in my opinion, that we need to have somebody's name where it's like has some like with it,
Mm-hmm.
so it can get some recruits from the North Carolinas, the Virginia Techs, the Miamis. I just think they need somebody that has some star power around them so we can help the university because we're struggling at HBCUs.
Oh, definitely. And then just having like coaches that really love the game of football and not just doing it just because they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have coaches like that love the game of football, which I say like our coaching staff does, like once kids see that, like they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm all in with this," like because they see the passion you have in it, and then just having plans. Like if you're going to be a coach, when you're recruiting kids, like you're gonna have to sell them a 4 to 5 year plan that's going to set up the rest of their life. So, like you got to take that seriously as well. So I think if you combine those two, like recruits going to buy in, people are going to see what you're trying to build at your school. So.
And then another thing, man, going into as being a former JUCO athlete, you were in the class of 2022, and you were at Kilgore Community College.
Mhm.
Once you got to once you well once you came from PWI into a HBCU, was there an adjustment that you had to make? Was it a culture shock?
Not really, cause uh, like I'm gonna interact with the people no matter who they are. You could be black, white, Mexican. Like I'm gonna interact with you the same. Like people are people. Uh, so I don't think it was like any like shock or anything like that. Only shock I would say would be like the football games. Like you really get to embrace like the black culture with like the bands and then like the people you see at the games. Those same people you could go see. You'll be going to the gas station. You'll see them people at the gas station, and I feel like that's a little different. And then like the fan base is like so involved. Like I talk to a lot of fans, and like just I'd say that's the only thing that's like different from playing anywhere else. Like the true like culture of the fan, and that
Mhm.
like the way that sports bring out the culture in the community. That's the only thing I say is different than anywhere else.
Last question, bro. Okay, college football playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is your go-to teams for the playoffs?
To for sure win it, I say that I know to give me a good shot. You can never count the Georgia Bulldogs out. They're still, I feel like they're still the team to beat, defending,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the defending national champions. So
Mm-hmm.
gotta go with them. Who else? Ohio. I really like Ohio State. Ohio State, I like them, and I'll say a sleeper for me would be, I'll say Penn State. Penn State is a sleeper for me as well. I like their defense. Their defense
Because,
nice.
bro, Penn State, bro, when I saw them just dismantle, because SMU they're not a bad team, but
No,
I think Penn State's just a little way better.
you can see the difference. Like different conferences. Like I feel like the ACC wasn't a strong conference. Like that's not a strong conference to me. Uh, the Big 12 is not as strong as it like used to be. I feel like, but it's starting to like with the Colorado and like with Arizona State, BYU as well. Like just having like some of the teams that creep up on you. The SEC is the Wild Wild West, is what I call that, because SEC anybody can beat anybody on any given day. And then the Big Ten, I feel like you have like your true bloods, and then you have like the rest of the schools. But
Well,
you can't discount Oregon either. I don't know why I didn't say Oregon. They've been
yeah.
in the business all year. So, but
Well, bro, this has been a wonderful treat, man. Um, I'm gonna give you my contact number. Never be a stranger, man. But
I got you.
I've been grateful that you took out your time during the day. Cause I know you're a busy man. You're a collegiate athlete, you know. But thank you for coming on the show.
No, I appreciate you. Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, man. You have a good one.
You too.
All right.
All right.
That was linebacker Vincent Paige for Southern University. Subscribe to the Chris the Method Man podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. I am your host, Chris Williams. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. God bless. Peace. Love you guys.